Certainly, let's start with the biggest news. At the end of the week, House Majority Leader DJ Bettencourt's decision not to run for re-election. We can't say here that a lot of folks are totally surprised by this decision. It's been a difficult 2 years for DJ Bettencourt as Majority Leader. He's completing his 4th term here. He's a very young man. He's also pursuing a law degree and a law career. He has clients now, representation that presents some conflicts to him, so it makes sense for him not to run. We sort of saw the likelihood of this happening, frankly, when we saw House Speaker Bill O'Brien's re-election team and the chairman of that team, and DJ Bettencourt was the missing link. He wasn't there, and that made us certainly think that either Speaker O'Brien had thrown DJ Bettencourt aside, which was certainly not likely, or that DJ Bettencourt had decided he wasn't going to run again, which is what we have. The next big question, frankly, is for the next speaker, whoever it is, do we continue this new tradition of electing a majority leader? DJ Bettencourt was the first one to be elected by the members of his own caucus for the first time in recent memory. It was a significant event. And the argument then was, certainly by the new leadership, Speaker O'Brien supported this, that the majority leader represents the Republican caucus, so the members of the caucus should be picking that person. Historically, the Speaker has always picked the majority leader. And frankly, in both parties, there's always been this kind of tension about, well, who does the majority leader work for? The Speaker, or does he work for us in the caucus? And so Republicans, particularly conservative Republicans, when they won this historic election in 2010, felt we ought to choose our own leader. There was a spirited fight for that. You may recall DJ Bettencourt emerged as the winner. He may not necessarily, frankly, have been Bill O'Brien's first choice. We don't know that because Bill O'Brien didn't take a position in that race, but the two of them worked together, and it was at times it was almost always an amiable relationship, and they spoke often with one voice, but DJ Bettencourt certainly was outspoken, as was Speaker O'Brien, and sometimes Majority Leader Bettencourt spoke before Speaker O'Brien might want him to speak, and we've certainly seen some of the comments that DJ Bettencourt has made as Majority Leader lead to some controversy when he referred to the Roman Catholic bishop as a pedophile. There have been a number of other kind of examples where DJ sort of got out in front of issues. He was extremely outspoken, a very strong supporter of the Republican agenda and of Speaker O'Brien, and the question always became, are they working together all the time? Are they in sync, or is sometimes DJ speaking out of turn or ahead of turn or with the Speaker's blessing? When you had a majority leader chosen by the Speaker, you certainly always had that assumption that the majority leader spoke because that's what the Speaker wanted the majority leader to say. We were all under this new paradigm, and for everyone it was a different experience, and certainly for DJ it was a new thing too. As I say, a relatively young guy who certainly has a political future if he wants one, and a bright one, but that's where we are. We don't know if we're going to have a new speaker, but we're certainly going to have a new majority leader, and I can assure you that's going to be a very spirited campaign. If the Republicans take control and keep control, as I say, this November, you can bet that any number of folks are going to jockey for that position. So there'll really be probably 2 fights after the election. One for the Speaker of the House, that Bill O'Brien, frankly, should win if he wins re-election to the House, but then a campaign for Majority Leader. And then the question, as I said before, was will the new Speaker choose that person or elect that person? We'll follow that for you all here at lobbyingage.com, and it should be fascinating.